Hey, what's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again. And as always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell so every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. Hey, today we want to talk about brother Derrick Jaxn. It seems like he's back making his rounds on the internet, social media. I mean, I'm not quite sure if he actually left, but I do remember, as everyone does who knows the guy's name, he was caught up in a scandal. Oh hell, he was married, dude messed around with his woman, got another woman pregnant. I don't know if the woman had his baby or not. He went through this whole apology tour, and only in a way that a narcissistic fella like him can do. And did an apology tour, but was really not saying sorry. You know, lost a lot of followers, but again, once everybody stopped making all them little funny videos about him, I just, didn't worry about him no more. But anyway, saw a video of the day and sat on it for a couple of minutes, then decided, I want to listen to it because a brother like this is one of the problems in our community. Now, it's funny that it is popping back up after our brother Kevin Samuels passed away. I know it's been a few months, but this dude, I will say his biggest arch rival is gone for the most part. Being, as well known as he was, but shoot, we still watching Kevin Samuels videos. Still watch him every day. So it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Even he not even here, but the man's message never dies. But anyway, Derrick Jaxn came out, like I say, he had this little Instagram, there's a post on Instagram, and I'm gonna let you hear it, and we're gonna go through it, because as I was saying, he's one of the problems that we have in our community, because he tells people, and I'm gonna say women, he tells women what they want to hear, a bunch of fantasy stuff, a bunch of outlandish stuff, just to appease to them, make them feel good. Kind of like a sidewalk preacher. But anyway, let's go through this real quick. Not gonna spend a whole lot of time on this brother, and we're gonna dissect it. All right.
That's what trips me out. It's like we say women got the unrealistic expectations, and some of them do.
Now notice how he said some of them do. Always pay attention to the words. So I'm gonna tell you all the time. Pay attention to what they say, and pay attention to what they don't say. He said some of them have real unrealistic goals.
But ain't nobody got more unicorn, fairy tale, Dora the Explorer expectations of the opposite sex than us men. Again, some women do expect a man to be 6 feet tall and make six figures and have a six-pack abs. And
some women.
It's unrealistic for most men, but I know like 10 dudes already that fit into that category. All you got to do is have a good job and some good genetics, and you're straight. But look at us, like what do we expect of a woman? She got to be a virgin.
Gotta be a virgin.
But she gotta be a freak.
Okay. Gotta be a virgin, but gotta be a freak. First of all, you're talking about, in this day and age, you're talking about high school kids. Because let's just be realistic, fellas. When we was in high school, what were we trying to do? We were trying to knock down the virgins. Freshmen come in to school, you're trying to holler at them. Whatever the case may be, that's what you're trying to knock down, because that was how you got your quote unquote status. You know what I'm saying? You can go and knock down any female that everybody else done hit, but if you can holler at the girl that can't nobody get a hold of, and then you can get with her and take her purity, you know what I'm saying? People look at you like you was the man. I mean, sorry to say, sad to say, with kids, you know what I'm saying, thinking stupidly, sue us. But it's just something for you parents, you new parents out there that's watching me. Just remember, that's what it was. Don't forget that's what it was when you was in high school, and make sure you tell your children. But yeah, even Ludacris said, what Ludacris said, you want a lady in the streets, but a freak in the bed. But the older you get, you kind of realize that, dang, we might have did something wrong, because now we made sure that a lot of these females aren't virgins. So it's gonna be more difficult to find virgins in their 20s and 30s as time goes on than it was when you was in high school, which you shouldn't be doing anyway in high school. But anyway, that's all I'm saying. So like I said, he talking about something that realistically nowadays, you're talking about a dude that's, robbing the cradle, doing some kind of stuff that's gonna get him put in prison. Period. So I don't know no dudes like that.
She gotta pay half the bills, but she gotta do 100% of the cleaning, the cooking, the child raising. She gotta be exhausted from all of that,
Pay 50% of the bills and 100% of the cooking, the cleaning. I would say, again, I would bring up, as I said in one of my earlier videos, it depends on your house setting. If you live in an apartment, a townhome, something with no yard, and you riding a bus or public transit, or taking, or Uber or Lyft to work every day, or riding a bicycle. If you're living in that type of environment, and you expect your wife to do, let's say, all the cooking, all the cleaning, I think there's something wrong with your way of thinking. But even with that being said, let's say you live in a house, a nice house with a yard that needs to be maintained. You both drive vehicles that need to be maintained. Stuff in your house, the longer you live there, stuff is going to break down, stuff is going to need to be replaced. Those manly things that have to be done. I can understand you wanting your wife to do maybe a little more of the cooking and cleaning, but not all of it. You see what I'm saying? Because y'all are actually splitting duties. You feel me? So let's say like you got a house, and let's say like myself, got a house. I hire a yard man to cut my yard because of the size of the yard, and I'm at work. I work a lot. And when we got this house, we didn't have a lawnmower in, and got a guy to cut it. There's other people that got the man cutting it. But anyway, I think it's like a few people. You know who cut their yards in my neighborhood? Retired people. Retired people are the only people in my neighborhood that I see cutting their own yard, because they don't work. They in the house all day. So they got to go outside and take care of business. That's what I see. But now, if cars need fixing, I'm always look and see if it's something that I can do first. And I get out there, change brakes, oil, change tires, light bulbs, get in there, spark plugs, tune up, all that stuff. Anything else on YouTube that I can find, air filters, gas, fuel filters, whatever I can go on the internet, on YouTube, and find a video. And if it say I can do it, and if I can get the tools, I'm gonna do it myself. That's just, how I do. But again, it's about splitting duties. So I'm like this here. I hire a man to mow the yard. Sometimes I go somewhere, get the oil change. Depends on when it is. Depending on the circumstance. Hell, I might even take my clothes to the cleaners. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, when it comes to like cooking and cleaning, I'm like, look, shoot, if you don't want to cook and clean all the time, you don't want to clean all the time, I got no problem hiring somebody to come and clean the house once a week. You know what I'm saying? Got no problem doing that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you go out to eat all the time, not all the time, but people go, we go out to eat sometimes. But I don't mind going to the kitchen and cooking either. So what I'm saying is, what he's talking about is something that I don't know anyone who thinks like that. Like, if I have to work, and if my woman has to work to pay bills, why in the heck am I going to make my woman do 100% of the household chores? Shoot, I might even, you know what I'm saying? I got no problem washing clothes, ironing, none of that. You feel me? So it's like, why would a person have a problem with doing it? A real man. Now, like I said, the expectation he's talking, again, he's talking this, and women gonna eat it up because they're gonna be like, yeah, that's what men think. He's gonna be like, what? Is that what men think? Well, I'm here to dispel and debunk what the hell he is saying, because he's saying a bunch of bullcorn, and like I say, it's doing nothing but causing a divide in our community, and we don't need that. Stop pandering me, but that's how he make his money. That's how preachers make their money, pandering to these women and telling them bullcorn. But then once reality hit, and they stuck out there by themselves, and the man that they could have had, but they couldn't even see the good man was there, he's gone with somebody else. You feel me?
Cooking and washing and cleaning and all that good stuff, and still be horny enough to meet our sexual needs.
Again, if she's that damn tired, a real man better be that damn tired too. Because he better be out there working all day, every day. Plus, like I say, mowing the yard. Plus, fixing everything that turns up in the house. Placing everything that needs to be replaced in the house. Fixing on the cars. Going to go see about his mama. Take care of going to see about his parents. Making sure they're doing okay. Also going to kids' functions and activities, making sure they're doing good in school, making sure they straight. I'm sure he better be doing something. So basically, what he talking about is a dude who go to work. But what if your man works at a warehouse or construction, on his feet, out in the heat, 10, 12, 14 hours a day? Dude come home, that ass gonna be tired too. So again, I don't know what he talking about. Unless he's talking about one of these dudes that sit at home, play video games all day, and smoke weed while his woman goes out there and works all day. That dude was probably raised by his mama or his grandma. Probably had to do nothing, was sorry as hell. Let's continue.
And get a good night's rest, but also wake up in the middle of the night in case we want some head and a turkey sandwich.
Yeah, that could be realistic. That should be attainable. But shoot, anybody, hey, after a couple hours of sleep, everybody should be ready to get up. You know what I'm saying? After a little short nap. Then go back to sleep. It's all good.
That ain't it. She also got to give birth to all our babies, because we got to have that legacy. But then she can't have no stretch marks, and she got to lose that baby weight in 30 days or less.
Ladies, I'm going to tell you something. Like I said, he's talking about a high school kid or a dude with a high school mentality. Shout out to R. Kelly. But as a man gets older, stretch marks ain't an issue. Ain't an issue at all. Because hell, it just ain't. Because when you get older and you see the world, you get out and see the world, you know what realistic is. You know what real is. When you ain't really attracted to all the plastic and the silicones and the BBLs and the fake hair, eyelashes and nails. If your woman just keeps herself up, when I say keep herself up, not necessarily have to be like going to the gym 6 days a week doing HIIT exercises or doing CrossFit every day. You know what I'm saying? She may be a little out of shape, got a little weight on her, maybe super skinny, got no muscle tone, whatever the case may be. But I've known women, and still know women, see women, who, ain't in the best of shape, but keep themselves up, dress nice, keep their face, looking nice, the whole appearance, hair, everything looking nice, to where it's like, that's a nice looking woman, so it's not, so like I said, the stuff he talking about, again, that's I got no doggone well. The majority of these women, seen enough of these women out here taking these pictures with their hand in front of their belly, trying to tuck it in, turn halfway sideways so you can't see their stomach. It's too many pictures like that. So a dude wants to get older, understand, woman, I know you got a little belly. It is what it is. I know you ain't got an hourglass figure. Come on now, shoot. I ain't built like Hercules or He-Man or Arnold Schwarzenegger back in the day. Let's just be for real. You know what I'm saying? We both got wants, we both got needs, and we both can satisfy each other just by the way we look. You don't believe me? But look at a lot of relationships. There's a lot of people out there who ain't super athletic, looking like gods and goddesses. You feel me?
And then she got to do it while fighting postpartum depression by herself. You have an attitude or something like that, because all we thinking about is we ain't got no vagina in the last 6 weeks that she got to take to heal.
Now that there's a sad thing, because that's something new that a lot of people have realized, found out about the postpartum depression. It came out when all these not all of it, but it came out when you saw these white women killing their kids, and then they started hollering they got mental illness, and they figured out it's postpartum depression. Like the lady in Houston drowned her babies in the tub. The lady up here in the Dallas area, I think stabbed. Was she drowned her babies or stabbed her babies? I think stabbed them. I can't remember. And then the other white lady, I can't remember. She's some little small town. Drove her car into the river, swapping down. Some black folks came and, kidnapped her kids and stole the car, and then they found the babies in the lake or something like that. But that's when they started talking about the postpartum stuff. So now, we get it more. And now we're hearing more and more cases of these women, women suffering after having these kids, especially having multiple kids. You wonder why they got quote unquote attitudes and stuff like that. And it's something that we as men do not understand and probably won't get to understand. But we have to be empathetic with our women because they go through a lot. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to deny, I'm not going to red pill it. They go through a lot. I know we go through a lot too, but they go through a lot also. So it's like, you can't beat them up for some stuff. This is why a lot of dudes deal with some stuff, because they understand what women go through, what we, what we may put them through. But so, like I said, that point about the postpartum, I understand that, I get that, but that's on a whole different, that's a whole nother video. There's a whole nother video.
That ain't it. Then she can get older, but she can't look older.
One more again. Studies show that when a man, let's say, just gets with a woman, marries a woman, in a relationship with a woman, lives with a woman, let's say married, at a young age, after so many years, they say, studies show, look it up, that men see their woman and or wife physically the same way they saw them when they first got married, first got together. The issue is not the men, the issue is the women. It be the women who want to dye their hair because it turns gray, this is only a recent phenomenon. This don't go back, because you look at old pictures of grandparents and stuff like that, they turn gray gracefully. And then they try to dye their hair with the cheap stuff and it turned purple or lavender, or whatever the hell it was. But women are more have more of a vain look at themselves than men do. Like I say, we don't see y'all getting older. Now here's the issue. Like I said, one, it's the women, because women are competing with other women. Now dudes, we don't compete with younger dudes. Some of them, you got some of them who still try to wear, the old high school clothes we wore back in the day with the ball cap and the chain, the one go to. But most of us try to get older, dress more sophisticated, look our age, try to keep our gray in, not really ashamed though, because I really can't wait till it comes in. I mean, I don't want to rush it, don't get me wrong, but I'm embracing. Like I said, I'm never going to dye my hair. I just ain't gonna do it. I'd rather cut it off than I dye it. You feel me? So we don't really try to compete with little boys. But for some reason, it seems like women compete with the younger women. and that's a fact, and that's true. And you can look at all kind of studies, and it just is because they are afraid of getting older. But really, that's women who are single or alone. Really, I would say it would make sense they think like that if they're still trying to catch a man. But if you're older and you got a man, and you're in a loving relationship, the kids, like I said, a loving relationship, and y'all there for each other, whatever, a man don't see you as an old woman. It's just not in his nature. Period. So you shouldn't be trying to impress other women or keep up with other women. You should just keep doing what you're doing to keep your man, because we already know we getting old. Shoot, one thing is about us, once we get a certain age, we really can't, I ain't gonna say we can't wait to get old, because nobody want to get old and go through all the problems, but most of us embrace it. Most of us men embrace it, know it's coming, and not fooling ourselves, but we still try to. That's why when we get like 40s and 50s, we try to, it's like he was saying, leave a legacy. We're trying to do things because we see what's coming. Now, who knows? We got some of us who might try to get him a little young tender and try to do what she do and hang with her. But then after a while, you can't do that. So it is what it is. It is what it is. But like I say, that's another point that he's making, that, like I say, reality does not back what this brother is saying. Let's continue.
I'm gonna say that she's falling off. Like, the list goes on, but just tell me something. How many women do you know that fit into that category? None.
And how many, no women fit in that category, and how many men do you know expect all of that he's talking about? Zero. There's not one man in the world who's looking for everything that this dude is talking about. What he has done, he has taken probably his thoughts from elementary or junior high up until how old he is now, and took everything that he has thought and matured and has learned and put it into one person. Put it into one person. I tell you like this here, when I was young, you know what I'm saying? I like whatever, well, let's see, young. When you're in high school, you want a high schooler, or you want somebody in college. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with an older girl or whatever. You get older, me, I was done. Once I was out of high school, after like the 2 years out of high school, couldn't deal with another high school. Too young for me. You get older, especially once I had kids. It's like you get older, and it's like when I had my daughter was like in high school or whatever. High school girls are off limits. College, who knows? But you know what I'm saying? It was like, nah, that's sickening. But he's taking traits and thoughts of each age group and putting it all into one, and creating this one man that don't nobody know, but everybody hates. But with him saying this, every woman going to think is out there. And that's a doggone shame. That is a doggone shame. Let's go ahead and end this out.
So who really got the unrealistic expectations?
He does. Because he created this dude that really doesn't exist. But anyway, I said I wasn't gonna spend a lot of time on him, and I'm not. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, understand we all have flaws. I don't want to use a cliche, nobody's perfect, because I always say in the Bible, there were a couple of people that were deemed perfect, and they committed what they call ultra sins, but still was deemed perfect eventually in the eyes of the Most High. So I don't like to use that word, but nobody's perfect. Nobody looks perfect. Nobody makes 100% all the right choices. Nobody has all the right ideas. We're all learning. We're all figuring the world out. What we have to do is stop listening to people. We got to start using our brains. Got to do critical thinking. That's something I learned in school, like nursing school and stuff, is, critical thinking. Thinking more than just the surface. Because you got to dig deep and figure out what's really been told to you, and why when something sounds too good, it's a bunch of BS. there is no such thing. There are like 7 billion people in the world. There's no way that there are 7 billion perfectly built, perfectly thinking, do everything that you want them to do, perfect mate. It's just not out there. What it is compatibility, understanding we all got flaws, learn to deal with our flaws, learn to address them, learning from them to become better people. That's all. Finding somebody that's compatible with you, that's willing to grow. The perfect scenario is to, one, they say, get a man who has his stuff in order, and then he go finds a wife. That's like the perfect scenario. And then they create a family and they grow together, they build a family together, build a legacy. And that's just, and that just continues to happen throughout to the end of time. But the problem is that doesn't happen often enough. People get married at a young age, but then they go out and see the world and they feel like, oh, I got married too young. I want a divorce so I can go out here and kick it. Get divorced, go out there and kick it, then realize going out there and kick it wasn't what it is, and they want to get back married to the person they divorced, and that person will move on and say no. You got people that get married later in age, and both people are stuck in their ways. They probably already got kids, ain't trying to have no more kids. And if they do have kids, like I said, you're in a been in a relationship, you know what you're not looking for, and you're probably a little quicker to get out of that relationship if it don't go right. That's why, like some people, they say, that second marriage may not last as long as the first one, and so on, because people just stuck in their way, and they know what they don't like, and they can see through the BS as time go on. But when they get older later in life, they may get married and then stick with them because they're like they don't want to die alone. Then everybody look back and say, dang, I should have stayed with this person or that person, this certain person, because they was everything that I needed. But like a dummy, I let it go. But again, we got to stop listening to guys like this that's destroying communities and messing up people's minds for money. Because it's not building, it's not constructive. If nothing you say is constructive, it does not need to be said. Destruction should not be a part of our vernacular. It just shouldn't. But anyway, tell me what you think. I'm just gonna say, call Derrick Jackson on his BS. It ain't right. It ain't good. But quite sure he's gonna get a few million views and likes and clicks. Hell, I had to watch it. I scrolling and saw it and saw the title, clicked on it, and was not surprised. Thought it was an old video, to tell you the truth, because I'm like, dang, I ain't seen this dude in so long. This must be some old stuff that he put out. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, it might be, it may not be. I don't know. But just funny that it's out now. But tell me what you think. Leave your comments below and then share it with the world. And with that being said, I'll leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.